Earth's night sky changed forever when the signals came. After decades of searching the stars for intelligent life, humanity's efforts paid off in an unexpected way. The message arrived on a calm Tuesday evening at the HFY facility in New Mexico. Dr. Sam Mitchell stared at his computer screen, coffee forgotten beside his keyboard. The pattern repeated itself again, too regular, too precise to be natural cosmic noise. His heart raced as he called his colleagues. "This can't be right," he whispered, running the analysis for the 5th time. But it was right. After verification from 3 separate observatories, the truth became undeniable. Humanity was not alone. Within hours, government officials swarmed the facility. The discovery remained classified for exactly 9 days before leaks reached the media. By the 2nd week, the entire planet knew. "We need to understand what we're dealing with," said General Owens in the hastily assembled Situation Room at the Pentagon. "Is this a threat?" Major Lisa Warren sat quietly at the end of the table, analyzing the preliminary reports. As the military's top xenolinguistics specialist, she'd been preparing for this scenario her entire career. Yet nothing could have prepared her for the reality. "The signals appear to be a warning," Lisa explained, pointing to the translated segments on her tablet. "These patterns here, they repeat with increasing urgency." Sam, brought in as a civilian consultant, nodded in agreement. "There's something else. These signals aren't coming from a single source. They're being relayed through multiple star systems, like a chain of communication." The revelation shocked everyone in the room. Not just one alien civilization, but potentially a network spanning the galaxy. Over the next month, Sam and his team worked tirelessly to decode more of the message. The breakthrough came when they identified mathematical constants embedded within the signals, universal language that transcended species. "They call themselves the Volteri," Sam announced to the UN Security Council, "and they're running from something." Lisa's team focused on the parts of the message containing what appeared to be star charts. "They're showing the path of whatever's chasing them. They call it the Void. It's consumed 3 galaxies already." World leaders debated whether to respond. Some argued for caution. Answering might attract unwanted attention. Others insisted that cosmic threats required unified action. "If these Volteri are telling the truth, staying silent won't protect us," Lisa argued in a closed session with the president. Sam discovered hidden patterns within the transmissions. Technical specifications and energy readings unlike anything in human science. "I think they're giving us technology," he said, "like they're trying to help us prepare." The decision to respond came 2 months after first contact. Earth's most powerful radio telescopes aligned to send humanity's answer. A message of cooperation and shared concern. 3 days later, the response arrived. Not in radio waves, but in the sudden appearance of a small probe in lunar orbit. "They were closer than we thought," Sam murmured as the first images of the alien device reached Earth. The probe contained a single occupant, an emissary named Sorith. The alien's message was simple and terrifying. The Void was approaching faster than expected, and the Volteri civilization was nearly extinct. Earth was next in its path. "Why us?" Lisa asked during the first secured communication with Sorith. "Why warn humanity specifically?" The answer changed everything they thought they knew about human history and potential. "Your species possesses unique qualities," came the translated response. "You developed technologies in decades that took others millennia. The Void has consumed many worlds, but Earth might be the one that finally stops it." As the sun set on the HFY facility that evening, Sam and Lisa stood looking at the stars, now forever changed in their eyes. "So what happens next?" Lisa wondered aloud. Sam's expression was somber. "We prepare for war with something that eats galaxies." The world changed quickly after Xorith's arrival. Nations that had been enemies for generations now worked together against a common threat. Every major space agency pooled their resources to establish direct communication with the Volteri ambassador. Sam and Lisa led the human diplomatic team. They met Soreth in a specially constructed chamber at NASA's headquarters. The alien's physical form surprised everyone. A crystalline being that shifted colors with its emotions, standing barely 4 feet tall. The void is not what you imagine, Soreth explained through the translation device. It is not a natural phenomenon. Sam leaned forward. What exactly is it then? It began as a weapon. The alien's body pulsed with dark blue waves, created by a species that existed before recorded history. They lost control of it. Now it consumes everything. Matter, energy, even space-time itself. Lisa took careful notes. How many civilizations has it destroyed? Thousands, perhaps millions. Soreth's form dimmed. We were once billions across 12 star systems. Now we number fewer than 10,000. The human team exchanged worried glances. Earth, with its single fragile biosphere, seemed hopelessly vulnerable by comparison. Show us, Sam said softly. Soreth projected holographic images of worlds being consumed. The process was horrifying. Stars collapsed, planets disintegrated, and entire systems vanished into absolute darkness. Not even light escaped. How long do we have? Asked Lisa. At current speed, 5 Earth years until it reaches your outer planets. The news devastated those present, but what followed gave them their first glimmer of hope. Your species interests us greatly, Soreth continued. Your technological development follows unusual patterns. You achieved nuclear power, space travel, and quantum computing in remarkable timeframes. We're still primitive compared to the Volteri, Sam pointed out. Yes and no. Your approach is different. Our civilization advanced gradually, building each technology upon existing foundations. Humans make unexpected leaps. You discover connections others miss. Proof of this came when Sam's team began studying the technical data Soreth provided. Earth scientists understood concepts that the Volteri had considered impossible, particularly in the field of stellar energy manipulation, using stars themselves as power sources or weapons. This could work, Sam said one night, staring at calculations on his tablet. We could theoretically convert our sun's output into a directed energy field, without destroying Earth in the process. Lisa asked skeptically. That's where the Volteri technology helps. They can contain and channel stellar energy. We just need to weaponize it. As the weeks passed, more disturbing information emerged about the void. It wasn't mindless destruction. It showed patterns of intelligence, avoiding heavily defended systems and targeting vulnerable ones first. It learns, Soreth explained. Each civilization it consumes adds to its knowledge. During a private moment, Lisa confronted the alien with her deepest fear. Why warn us if there's no hope? Why not let us live our final years in peace? Soreth's crystalline body pulsed with gentle gold light. Because there is hope. Small, but real. The void has weaknesses we've discovered but couldn't exploit. Your species thinks differently. You might succeed where we failed. The United Nations convened an emergency session to share Soreth's revelation with world leaders. The void could be damaged, perhaps even stopped, by precisely calibrated energy bursts from multiple stars fired simultaneously. We need a network, Sam explained to the assembly. A galactic defense system using stars as weapons. Lisa watched the faces around her, seeing determination replace fear. If we fail, she told them, humanity ends. But if we succeed, we save not just ourselves but countless other worlds. That night, Project Starshield was born, humanity's last stand against the consuming darkness. Project Starshield transformed Earth's approach to space. A global coalition formed with unprecedented speed. Governments devoted entire economic sectors to the effort. Factories that once built cars now produced specialized satellites. Universities redirected all research toward understanding the void. Jack Cooper, a former oil rig engineer from Oklahoma, proved essential to the project. His experience with high-pressure drilling systems gave him unique insight into the Volteri containment technology. The principles are similar, Jack explained to the international team. We're essentially creating pressure valves for stellar energy, but on a cosmic scale. While Jack worked on the hardware, Dr. Nicole Rice focused on detection systems. A quiet physicist with a gift for particle analysis, she discovered that the void left subtle traces, quantum disturbances that appeared weeks before its arrival. It's like watching ripples in water before seeing the rock that caused them, Nicole told Sam during a late-night lab session. We can build early warning networks across the solar system. Resources poured in from every nation. Russia contributed their advanced space manufacturing capabilities. China offered their quantum computing networks. The European Space Agency provided launch facilities. Even countries with modest space programs contributed materials, scientists, and support. The first prototype of the Starshield was smaller than planned, a test device positioned near Mercury to harness solar energy. Jack supervised its deployment from mission control, his face tense as the satellite unfurled its collection arrays. Energy capture beginning, announced a technician. Levels at 10%, 20, 30. At 50% capacity, the prototype began to vibrate. At 70, warning alarms blared. Cut power, Jack ordered. The containment field is destabilizing. The test ended in partial failure. The satellite captured the energy but couldn't properly contain or direct it. The team worked for weeks to understand what went wrong. The Volteri technology isn't directly compatible with our materials, Nicole concluded after analyzing the data. We need to rebuild using different alloys. Lisa, who coordinated between military and scientific teams, brought unwelcome news during their third month of work. The deep space monitors are picking up quantum disturbances. Nicole's detection system works. Sam studied the readings with growing concern. The void is moving faster than Sorith predicted. We have months, not years. The pressure intensified. Jack redesigned the containment systems while Nicole refined the targeting mechanisms. The Volteri provided more detailed schematics, and Sorith personally assisted with calibrations. Your star is younger and more energetic than those in our systems, the alien observed. This could actually work to our advantage. The second prototype deployed successfully. Positioned at the solar North Pole, it demonstrated stable energy capture and containment for 14 minutes before overheating. Progress, Jack said with cautious optimism. We'll modify the cooling systems for the next version. But time was running out. Nicole's detection grid registered stronger disturbances at the edge of the solar system. The team worked around the clock, sleep becoming a luxury few could afford. Sam presented their findings to world leaders. We can build a functional prototype within 30 days, but a full defense network requires at least 4 months. And how long until the void arrives? Asked the French president. Based on current calculations, Sam replied, his voice steady despite his exhaustion, approximately 67 days. The world held its breath as construction accelerated. Jack's team managed to launch 12 smaller units into strategic orbits around the sun. Nicole's detection system expanded to cover the entire solar system, providing real-time data on the void's approach. Then, without warning, alarms sounded across all monitoring stations. Nicole burst into the command center, her face pale. It's not the main void, she announced to the stunned room. It's smaller, like a scout or fragment, and it's heading directly for the Mars research station. Lisa immediately contacted military command. How quickly can we deploy defense forces to Mars? The answer came back grimly. 48 hours at the earliest. The void fragment will reach Mars in 36, Nicole whispered. The Mars research station housed 87 scientists working on specialized components for Project Starshield. These people were now in immediate danger. Lisa immediately volunteered to lead the emergency response team. We have a prototype defense module ready for testing, Jack said. Not the full Starshield, but it might slow the void fragment down. Load it onto the fastest transport we have, Lisa ordered. We launch in 3 hours. The emergency mission assembled quickly. Lisa selected a crew of 12, a mix of military personnel and technical specialists. They boarded the Artemis, Earth's newest interplanetary vessel, designed for rapid deployment. "The math doesn't work," Sam said privately to Lisa before launch. "Even at maximum speed, you'll reach Mars just as the void fragment arrives." "Then we'll have to fight it directly," she replied, checking her equipment. "Those people deserve a chance." As the Artemis departed Earth orbit, Nicole reconfigured the detection grid to provide continuous updates to the rescue team. The readings grew increasingly concerning. "The fragment is accelerating," she informed Lisa via transmission, "and it's changing course to more directly intercept the research station." "It's hunting," Sam realized. "The void can sense technology." Back on Earth, Jack worked frantically to improve the defense module installed on the Artemis. He connected remotely to the ship's systems, implementing modifications as they traveled. "The module works by creating a shell of redirected energy," he explained to Lisa's team. "But it won't hold for long against something this size." The journey to Mars became a race against time. Nicole monitored the void fragment's trajectory, while Sam coordinated evacuation plans for the research station. The scientists there prepared to abandon years of work with only hours' notice. Lisa's team reached Mars orbit just as the darkness appeared on the horizon. From space, it looked like a moving shadow, a patch of utter blackness that consumed light itself. The fragment was smaller than they expected, roughly the size of a small asteroid, but its effects were devastating. The Martian atmosphere distorted where it passed. "Activate the defense module," Lisa commanded as they positioned between the fragment and the research station. The Artemis deployed the experimental device. It activated with a pulse of blue energy that expanded outward, creating a shimmering barrier. The void fragment collided with this shield, and for a moment seemed to pause. "It's working," one of the engineers shouted. But the celebration was premature. The fragment pressed against the barrier, which began to flicker. Warning lights flashed across the ship's control panels. "Power reserves dropping," reported the systems officer. "Shield failure in 2 minutes." On Earth, Jack saw the telemetry data and made a desperate decision. "I'm going to try something," he told Nicole, his fingers flying across his control station. "Route all power from the Artemis's engines into the shield generator." "That will leave them stranded," Nicole protested. "But alive," Jack responded. "And I can modulate the shield frequency to match the quantum disturbance pattern you discovered." Lisa received Jack's instructions and implemented them immediately. The shield changed from blue to violet, pulsing with new energy. The void fragment recoiled. "It's working," Lisa reported. "The fragment is pulling back." Jack's modification had surprising results. The shield wasn't just blocking the void. It was actively damaging it. Small pieces of the darkness fragmented and dissipated. "Keep pushing," Sam urged through the communication link. "You're hurting it." The battle lasted 47 minutes. The shield held just long enough for the research station to evacuate its personnel. As the last transport departed, the Artemis defense module finally failed. The void fragment surged forward, consuming part of the ship before retreating suddenly. When it withdrew, the fragment was noticeably smaller. It drifted away from Mars, seeming to lose cohesion. "We didn't destroy it," Lisa reported back to Earth. "But we wounded it. The void can be damaged." This realization changed everything. The Artemis limped back to Earth with its critical data. Jack's modifications and Nicole's frequency matching had revealed the first true vulnerability in their enemy. "It's not invincible," Sam told world leaders the next day. "And now we know how to fight it." The successful defense of Mars changed humanity's approach from desperate preparation to active resistance. Earth's most powerful transmitters began broadcasting a warning message to all detectable civilizations. The message contained technical specifications for the modified defense modules and data on the void's vulnerabilities. "We can't be the only ones fighting this," Sam explained at the UN emergency session. "If other species join us, we can create a network of defensive positions." The response came faster than anyone expected. Within 3 weeks, 7 different alien vessels entered the solar system. Each approached cautiously, transmitting peaceful intentions in various formats. Earth's military forces remained on high alert, but the visitors showed no signs of hostility. They received our warning, Lisa told the assembled world leaders. They're here to see our defense technology in action. The alien representatives gathered at a neutral facility constructed in lunar orbit. Besides Sorith and the remaining Volteri, the newcomers included species humanity had never imagined. The Nultar resembled massive jellyfish floating in specialized environmental suits. The Kresh were insectoid beings with advanced biotechnology. Others defied easy description. A representative of the Ishuri, a reptilian species with silvery scales, addressed the human delegation. Our astronomers detected the void's approach 2 decades ago. We thought ourselves doomed until we received your transmission. We have very little time, Sam responded. The main void entity will reach our system within weeks. Lisa coordinated security while the alien representatives examined Earth's defense prototypes. Jack and Nickel demonstrated the functioning modules, now significantly improved after the Mars encounter. Your approach is unlike anything we've attempted, said the Kresh ambassador, her mandibles clicking with excitement. Our scientists focused on escape rather than resistance. The void can be fought, Jack insisted. We wounded a fragment of it with limited technology. Imagine what we could do with a coordinated defense. The aliens brought their own scientific knowledge and resources. The Nultar contributed advanced energy storage systems. The Kresh offered biological computers that could process information faster than quantum systems. Each species added something unique to the growing alliance. Nickel made another breakthrough while studying artifacts provided by the Ishuri. These carvings are over 30,000 years old, but they clearly depict the void. And look, she pointed to symbols etched into ancient stone. These match our current defense designs almost exactly. The revelation stunned everyone. The void had threatened the galaxy before, and previous civilizations had fought back. The cycle repeats, Thorith observed solemnly. Perhaps this time we can end it permanently. Under emergency protocols, Earth formalized an alliance with the visiting species. The Galactic Defense Accord was signed by representatives of all 8 civilizations, pooling resources and knowledge against their common enemy. Transfer of technology began immediately. Compatible alien systems were modified to incorporate Starshield designs. Earth's manufacturing facilities worked at maximum capacity to produce components that could be adapted for different planetary systems. Lisa oversaw security for the entire operation. We've never faced a military challenge of this scale, she confided to Sam during a rare quiet moment. We're building a defense network across multiple star systems with species we've only just met. Do you trust them? Sam asked quietly. Lisa considered this. I trust that they want to survive. That's enough for now. The alliance grew stronger as more alien vessels arrived, responding to Earth's broadcast. Some came from distant systems already under attack, bringing first-hand intelligence about the void's current tactics. Jack integrated these reports into his designs, creating specialized defenses against specific void behaviors. Nicole's detection grid expanded dramatically with alien technology, now providing accurate predictions of the void's movements. The discovery of ancient ruins on Mars added further evidence that the fight against the void spanned millions of years. Excavations revealed technology similar to current Starshield components, preserved from a long-extinct civilization. We're not starting from zero, Sam realized. We're continuing what others began. As the main void force approached the outer planets, Alliance ships moved into position around strategic stars. Earth had become the unlikely headquarters for the galaxy's last stand against extinction. Tomorrow, Lisa addressed the combined forces. We find out if any of this works. The void appeared first as a subtle darkening at the edge of the solar system. Neptune's monitoring stations went silent one by one. Uranus followed 8 hours later. The main force of darkness was vastly larger than the fragment they had encountered at Mars. "It's not just approaching," Nickel reported, studying the readings from the expanded detection grid. "It's accelerating and splitting into multiple vectors." The Alliance fleet positioned itself according to carefully calculated trajectories. Each ship carried modified starshield technology, designed to work in concert with others. Earth's orbital defenses activated, creating a shimmering energy barrier around the planet. "The Void is exhibiting new behaviors," so Earth warned during the final strategy meeting. "It's adapting to our defenses before encountering them." Lisa coordinated the military response from the Lunar Command Center. Her displays showed Alliance positions across the inner solar system, a three-dimensional chessboard with thousands of pieces. "All ships maintain formation," she ordered. "Do not engage individually. Wait for synchronization signal." Jack worked with engineering teams to make final adjustments to the stellar amplification network. The system would harness energy from the sun and redirect it through carefully positioned satellites, creating a web of defensive fire. "Power levels are holding steady," he reported. "The containment fields are stable." Sam had sequestered himself with data from multiple sources, searching for patterns in the Void's approach. After 3 days with minimal sleep, he emerged with a startling theory. "There's a structure to it," he explained to Alliance leaders, pointing to elaborate models on his display. "The Void isn't uniform. It has a central core, almost like a brain." "You're suggesting it's a single entity?" asked the Nultar representative. "Yes," Sam confirmed, "and I believe I've identified its location within the main mass." This discovery changed their strategy completely. Instead of trying to repel the entire Void, they could target the core specifically. The Alliance reallocated resources, focusing their strongest weapons on the coordinates Sam had identified. The first engagement occurred near Jupiter. A portion of the Void enveloped 2 crash vessels before they could activate their shields. 3 Ishuri ships counterattacked, using modified starshield weapons. Their combined fire created a tunnel of light through the darkness, temporarily forcing it back. "We can hurt it," Lisa announced to all Alliance forces, "but we need to coordinate better. Time your bursts with the network signals." Earth watched in horror and hope as battles raged across the solar system. The Moon's observatory captured images of Alliance ships fighting surrounded by absolute darkness, their weapons creating brief flashes of illumination. Jack's stellar network reached 90% completion just as the Void approached Mars. The Red Planet's defenses held longer than expected, giving crucial additional hours to finalize preparations. "The core is changing position," Sam warned, tracking his discovered vulnerability. "It's trying to hide within the larger mass." Nickel worked with alien scientists to refine the detection system, keeping pace with the core's movements. "We can still track it," she assured, "but our window for targeting is getting smaller." As the Void reached Earth orbit, the true scale of the threat became apparent. Darkness blotted out the stars, creating an artificial night across half the planet. Alliance ships fought valiantly, but many were lost in these close engagements. Lisa moved her command center to the last operational space station. "All Earth defense systems at maximum power," she ordered. "Prepare for direct assault." Jack's stellar amplification network finally reached full operational capacity. "Network synchronized," he announced. "All nodes responding." Sam transmitted the latest coordinates for the Void's core to all Alliance vessels. "This is our best chance," he told them. "Everything we have focused on this point." Nickel's monitoring systems detected unusual patterns within the Void. "It's reacting differently," she reported, "almost like it's concerned." For the first time since the conflict began, the Alliance sensed fear from their enemy. The Void paused its advance, seeming to assess the threat arrayed against it. "All units prepare for synchronized attack," Lisa commanded. "On my signal, we target the core with everything we have." The solar system held its breath as humanity and its allies prepared to make their final stand. The final battle began with a synchronization pulse that connected all Alliance vessels. Jack's stellar amplification network hummed to life, drawing enormous energy from the sun. The void's darkness pressed against Earth's orbital defenses, probing for weaknesses. "Primary systems engage," announced Jack, his voice steady despite the tension. "Energy capture at maximum capacity." Lisa directed the combined fleet from her command station. Alliance vessels moved into precise formations, their starshield weapons powered and ready. The darkness surrounded them, occasional tendrils testing their defenses. "Target locked on the core coordinates," Lisa confirmed. "All ships report firing status." Across the solar system, thousands of ships responded. The crashed biovessels pulsed with stored energy. Volturi crystalline ships aligned their resonators. Human vessels positioned their modified starshield emitters. "Fire on my mark," Lisa commanded. 3, 2, 1. Engage. The synchronized attack created something never before witnessed in the solar system. Streams of concentrated stellar energy burst from every Alliance vessel simultaneously, converging on the coordinates Sam had identified. The network of stars created a web of blinding light that cut through the darkness. The void recoiled violently. Parts of its mass dissipated instantly where the energy beams connected. The core structure Sam had identified became visible briefly, a complex arrangement of dark matter unlike anything scientists had predicted. "It's working," Nickel shouted, watching her sensors. "The core is destabilizing." But the void wasn't defeated. It concentrated its mass, abandoning outer regions to fortify around its core. The darkness intensified, becoming so dense that even the combined weapons could barely penetrate. "Energy reserves dropping," Jack warned. "The network can't sustain this output for much longer." On Earth, populations watched the space battle through observatory feeds. The sight was both terrifying and beautiful, darkness and light in cosmic combat above their world. During the height of the battle, Sam noticed something unexpected in the data streams. The void's reactions followed patterns that seemed almost deliberate. Not like random responses to damage, but like communication. "We need to try something different," Sam told Lisa urgently. "I think the void is trying to communicate with us." "Communicate?" Lisa questioned incredulously. "It's destroyed thousands of worlds." "Yes, but look at these patterns." Sam displayed the energy fluctuations. "They're too regular, too precise. This isn't just destruction. It's trying to say something." While the battle raged, Sam reconfigured part of the detection grid to analyze these patterns. Nickel assisted, her expertise in quantum signals proving crucial. "It's using quantum states to encode information," she realized, "similar to how we communicate with quantum entanglement." With the Alliance fleet struggling to maintain their attack, Sam made a bold decision. He modified the stellar network to broadcast a simple mathematical sequence: prime numbers, the universal language of intelligence. The effect was immediate and unexpected. The void's attack paused. Its darkness fluctuated in patterns that matched Sam's broadcast, but with additions. "It's responding," Nickel whispered. "Actually responding to us." Lisa ordered a partial ceasefire, keeping defenses active but pausing the main attack. "Sam, what is it saying?" Sam worked frantically with Nicole and alien scientists to decode the quantum patterns. "It's complex, but I think it's asking why we resist." "Because it's destroying everything," Jack responded. "No," Sam said slowly as more translations came through. "That's not how it perceives itself. The void doesn't see destruction, it sees transformation. It's been trying to communicate with species for millennia, but its very nature damages our reality." This revelation stunned the Alliance. The enemy they had fought wasn't malevolent. It was fundamentally different, operating on principles incompatible with their universe. Sam reconfigured the stellar network again, this time to broadcast images and concepts. Life, diversity, creation. The network of stars became a galactic message board, visible across thousands of light years. The void responded with its own concepts, strange and alien, but recognizably communication. Gradually, a dialogue formed. The darkness retreated slightly, maintaining distance, but no longer attacking. "What happens now?" Lisa asked, watching the darkness slowly withdraw from Earth orbit. "We've established first contact with something truly alien," Sam replied. "Maybe the first species ever to do so without being destroyed in the process." 5 years passed since humanity's first contact with the void. Earth had changed in ways no one could have predicted. The alliance of alien species remained, transforming from a military coalition into a diplomatic exchange. Ships from distant worlds regularly visited the solar system, bringing new knowledge and technologies. Sam worked tirelessly to improve communication with the void. He established a specialized research center on Titan, Saturn's largest moon, where the proximity to the darkness allowed for clearer quantum exchanges. "We've learned more about the universe in 5 years than in all of human history," Sam explained to visitors at the research center. "The void exists partially in dimensions we can't perceive. What looked like destruction was actually its attempt to bring other beings into its realm." Lisa transitioned from military command to heading Earth's new Interstellar Security Council. The organization coordinated defense and diplomacy across the growing network of allied worlds. "We maintain our defenses," she often reminded council members, "but our primary mission is understanding. We came too close to destroying something we didn't comprehend." Jack's stellar amplification network evolved into the backbone of a new communication system spanning multiple star systems. The technology that nearly became a weapon now served as the galaxy's most powerful broadcasting system. "Funny how things work out," Jack remarked during the 5th anniversary celebration. "We built this to fight a war, and now it connects more civilizations than we knew existed." Nicole's detection systems became increasingly sophisticated, allowing her team to identify other entities similar to the void in distant regions of space. Not all were as willing to communicate as the one Earth had encountered. "There are more of them out there," she reported to the council. "Some ancient, some seemingly new, each with different properties." The void itself remained at the edge of the solar system, a permanent neighbor that both fascinated and unsettled humanity. Through years of communication, they learned it was indeed sentient, though in ways difficult for humans to comprehend. It existed simultaneously across multiple realities, perceiving time and space fundamentally differently. Children born after first contact grew up with a different perspective than previous generations. To them, the darkness beyond Neptune was simply part of their world, as natural as the sun or moon. Schools now taught xenobiology and multidimensional physics alongside traditional subjects. Some humans chose to work directly with the void, using specially designed interfaces to explore the boundaries between realities. These bridge workers returned with knowledge that transformed scientific understanding, though they often struggled to describe their experiences in conventional language. "It's like trying to explain color to someone who's never seen," said Ryan Kelly, one of the first bridge workers. "The void's reality overlaps with ours, but extends in directions we lack words for." Earth's message continued to spread across the galaxy. Other civilizations that had hidden from the void for millennia now came forward, joining the growing alliance. Ancient species that had retreated to the galactic periphery returned, bringing wisdom from epochs long past. The stars themselves seemed different now. Astronomers detected subtle changes in certain stellar patterns, suggesting communication networks older than human civilization, using methods they were only beginning to understand. "We weren't the first to reach out," Sam concluded after studying these patterns. "Just the first to do it in a way the void could recognize." Lisa often visited an observatory built specifically to monitor the boundary where Earth's reality met the void's darkness. The sight never failed to humble her, the absolute black of the void against the brilliant light of the stars. "We came so close to destroying each other," she reflected, "all because we couldn't see past our fear." As human exploration expanded further into space, the lesson of the void went with them. Each new ship carried sophisticated communication systems designed to reach out before attacking, to understand before judging. The stars no longer cried out in mourning. Instead, they sang with the combined voices of countless civilizations, a chorus that bridged the darkness between worlds. Humanity had found its place in a universe far stranger and more wonderful than anyone had imagined.